I'm Duncan Ferguson and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV. It is me, Baz. Just a quick instant reaction video really to the takeover rumours doing the rounds. Looking a little bit more than rumours, it has to be said at the moment. John J. Moores and Charles Noell are reportedly in talks with Everton to purchase the club, about to enter into a period of exclusivity which ends in January. I think it's been bubbling for a while, hasn't it? You know, it's these takeover stories are kind of, gathering more pace. We had Rob Heineman from Sport and KC, of course, confirm that they were over here in August having a look at Everton. Were interested but felt as though it wasn't quite the right time for them. There's been reports of a Chinese consortium looking at Everton, a couple of American firms, consortiums, businessmen looking at buying into Everton. There was even reports of a Middle Eastern consortium last week, but it's come to light now that it is, at the moment, it looks as though John Moores and Charles Noell are in the driving seat in terms of purchasing Everton. Do we get excited? Don't we get excited? It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think the worry for everybody will be two things, really. One is, are these the right people to take us forward? Have they got the necessary funds to redevelop Goodison Park or to find us a new stadium? Have they got the relevant funds to be able to supply the manager with, let's use the term war chest, which a lot of journalists like to use nowadays, for them to be able to bring in better quality of player to improve what is a very, very good squad at the moment, but key areas we could do certainly with 3 or 4 top-class players. And I suppose the flip side of that will be people who are a little bit more concerned. There'll be people who are thinking, well, we've seen what's happened at other clubs where it's a blaze of glory. These consortiums come in, or these businessmen come in, and they promise a lot and deliver very little. I mean, you look at teams who are struggling now, who've had in, consortiums take them over. Birmingham City, Aston Villa, Villa trying to sell the club for a while, not really going anywhere. Obviously, people will always quote Portsmouth, they'll quote Leeds United. But there's consortiums who've come in and it's worked the other way, isn't it? There's obviously the very top of the pile is the Abu Dhabi group who've purchased Manchester City. They've been fantastic. Sheikh Mansour, what they've done there, they've not only have they delivered success to Manchester City, they've also delivered or delivering a world-class training facility to them. They're delivering, redeveloping the Etihad Stadium. There's a stand going up there as we speak. So, they've come in and really done the whole club, as well as buying the players. They've redeveloped and everything else. So they've been fantastic. But teams like Southampton, who have had businessmen come in, have enabled them to kick on a little bit. Yes, they've already got a new stadium, but they've still been backed up and have gone on to another level with a consortium. Leicester City obviously doing very well at the moment. Have had money come into their club. Even our neighbours have changed hands a couple of times, but now there's a big shiny new stand going up over at Anfield. There's always seems to be money there to back the manager. So there's obviously two sides to it. Where at the moment we are a stable club. I think we're able to. Yes, it's down to television money, but we are quite stable because we've got some very, very good players. We do quite well in terms of, and I hate to use this because it annoys me, but the facts are there, aren't they, for everybody to see. We do quite well in terms of the wage structure and where we generally finish, which is above our average wage, if that's how you want to qualify a bit of success. Me personally, I want to see us winning trophies. Will we do it with the current regime? Who knows? We've got a chance this year where we can do it, but I think for me the biggest issue is there doesn't seem to be any kind of communication between the board, the CEO and the supporters. We don't know what the plan is for us to go forward. We always seem to be the last to know as fans, I suppose. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because obviously the club can't share every bit of information with people. But I don't know, just certainly from my point of view, I don't really know what direction the club's going in. Is it going in any direction? Is it you know, we look at the balance sheet and we see that the television money is sustaining us. And some people are quite happy with that. Some people are happy going to the match. They see a decent side on the pitch. Yeah, okay, you know, they kind of pass it off as, well, we can't win anything because there's richer teams. Hey, no problem with that. That's your opinion. You are more than entitled to it. I personally want to see my club challenging for honours. Are these guys, Moores and you know, Charles Noell, are they the right people to take us forward? Who knows? Who knows? I've had, you know, I've read some good stuff on them. I've read some not so good stuff on them. But why are they trying to get involved in Everton? Surely they wouldn't want to buy Everton to come in and let it go to rack and ruin. Surely Bill Kenwright, who has allegedly turned away investors in the past, I have to say that because nobody has come out and gone, I've tried to buy them and X, Y and Z happened. Would he just be willing to sell now? Yes, there is obviously concerns around his health. None of the Everton board are getting any younger. And for me, it's such a critical period for us now, which way we go. We're kind of on a crossroads. We've got a good squad of players that needs improving, but we also need to have the dream to be able to convince the likes of Romelu Lukaku, John Stones, Ross Barkley that, you know what, the grass isn't always greener. We are going places and we've got this investment coming in, or we've got this plan to get here. And otherwise, we just continually going to do the same thing. We're going to get a good player in, he's going to do well for a bit. We're going to have to sell him because other clubs are going to come knocking with plans to try and get to a place that we look and go, I don't think we can get there. We haven't got the structure. We haven't got the money. We're just Everton, who are 8th to 12th in the Premier League, and that's what we are. That saddens me because obviously I've seen us be champions on a couple of occasions, won European trophy, won FA Cup, seen Everton near the top of the pile. We are still, of course, the 4th most successful English club. Yes, it was a long time ago, but why shouldn't we aspire to be back there? Like I say, are these guys the right men? I don't know. They tried to buy Swansea City earlier in the season, I believe. That didn't work out, you know. But the fact is that it looks as though they are certainly just about to do diligence. Can never say that quickly on the club. So we'll have to see where that leads. But you know what? When are we gonna take the plunge? If this passes, you know, who knows? Who knows when the next one will come along? If the next one will come along, are we just going to sit on our hands? Are we going to sit on our hands until the kind of players that we develop move on, and then say, well, we can't keep players, you know? But that's what we are. If that's the case, come out and tell us. Come out and say to us, look, our ambition is to stay in the middle of the league, develop good players, and pass them on for somebody else. I want a bit more for my football club. Are Moores and Noell the right men? I don't know. I'm not the person that is investigating their backgrounds and everything else that goes with it. But let's hope that if they are going to come in, they don't just kind of buy the club for £200 million and then effectively do what our current board is doing now, which is basically owning the club without being able to take it on to another level. I think if we're going to sell to these guys need to be able to prove to us that they're going to be able to take us where we want to go. New stadium or redevelop Goodison Park, increased funds for the manager, and really, really start getting some standards out there, start putting some markers down, start putting some levels down that we all have to aspire to. And by aspire to, I mean the team, markers for the players. It's not okay just to come in and just develop and become a good player. You want to come here, develop and become a winner, so you win us stuff. Markers so that the manager has to live up to things. It's not just okay to put a nice passing side together without having markers, without being able to measure the progress. That's how you win things. That's how clubs get bigger and better. But, you know, let me know what you think anyway. They're my thoughts. The initial thoughts are, I'm glad that there's something happening. I'm glad that it is in the news at the moment. I am very cautious because we have been down this road before. Will it happen? Who knows? Who knows? It's Everton. Anything could happen, you know, but we will know kind of at the end of January whether we're moving forward with this, whether these guys are the right men to take us forward. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I guess the question is, do we basically go balls out now? Do we go, we want to get to the promised land? Or are we just going to be cautious and say, let's just do what we're doing at the moment until we're certain about who's taking us on? I don't know. It's not my decision. I just want us to move forward. Like I say, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to give us a little subscribe with the subscribe button. Retweet, tell your mates, get everyone here. Let's build this Everton channel up. Let's get Everton more coverage, because basically no one's really interested in us, are they, other than ourselves. So let's try and do that. Thanks very much for watching. Have a fantastic Christmas. And who knows, in the new year, we may be all given a lovely New Year present. We may be bought, and there's a big pot of money for our manager to spend and for us to enjoy, not only off the pitch, but on the pitch also. This is Toffee TV. I've been Baz, and I'll see you next time.